everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. Will it be Scamacca? Will it be Morata? Hide and seek, yo-yo. Will it be one? Will it be the other? Will it be both? Will it be none? We're at that stage where, you know what we should actually do? We should put a poster of Morata and a poster of Scamacca behind there and just launch a little arrow, and wherever it lands we get, because we're at that stage where I don't know who we're getting. I mean, we're linked with one day, we're linked with the other the next day. It's I don't know. It's hard to explain who we want to buy as a striker. And yeah, I mean, Morata and Scamacca look like the priorities, but who will it be? Can it be both? Can it be none? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're also going to speak about Renato Sanches, because we have a little update when it comes to the Renato Sanches situation. So we've got quite a lot to go through. If you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. And I would like to start with Renato Sanches, in fact, because some sources are saying, these aren't official sources, this rumor which I'm about to launch has been launched by calciomercato.com. Now, normally they're hit or miss. They could get some things right, but they also get quite a few things wrong. So I don't know how to judge this rumor, but calciomercato.com has effectively launched the rumor that PSG have opened up for a loan of Renato Sanches, and therefore Thiago Pinto's trying to accelerate this deal and get him in Rome. And I want to share a few minutes on this, because it kind of gives a good continuation to yesterday's stream. If we get him, this is just a massive gamble. It's nothing more than a massive gamble. This is not a studied transfer hit. It's not something which we've planned. It's just one of those signings which we have the opportunity to kind of pursue, because they've opened up for loan. So we are seeing us interested in him and potentially accelerate the deal. For a player who, as we said yesterday, has been extremely unfit, has missed so many games. We have a bad injury past, so I don't know why we want a player who doesn't give you a guarantee when it comes to fitness. Don't get me wrong, this is a gamble, as we said yesterday. This is an ultimate gamble. This is probably the biggest gamble that Thiago Pinto has made since he's the sporting director of this team. This is a gamble because it's one of those deals, just like Gini maybe, which could go either way. I mean, we could get him, sort his fitness, and he could become an absolute beast in our midfield. However, we could also follow the other tangent, where he continues to have difficulties when it comes to his fitness. We just buy him, and it's a 50-50, as Ines is saying in the chat. I don't know how to judge this. It could be good, could be bad. If it's a loan, at the end of the day, we've learned it from last season. We need to improve squad depth, and I think Renato Sanches, seeing the fact that PSG have reportedly again, it hasn't been confirmed by Di Marzio or Romano, but if they all reportedly open up to sign it, to give him on loan, and obviously PSG would pay quite a lot of his wages, following the good relationship we have with them. This is effectively a similar operation to Wijnaldum. Similar player, similar fitness history, comes from PSG. He's a player who was great at Benfica, just like Gini was at Liverpool. Gone to PSG, not a massive player. Same with Gini. Costs are similar, salaries are similar. It's a loan move. This is literally Gini 2.0. PSG have reportedly agreed to pay some of his wages, which isn't too bad. If you kind of mix all of these things together, it's an understandable deal. And at the end of the day, I always follow this ideology that if Jose wants him, I want him. And he's Portuguese. Jose knows him well. Pinto knows him well. Obviously, he was the Benfica sporting director. I have a little feeling, however, Pinto, the fact that he was the Benfica sporting director when Renato Sanches was a beast at Benfica, I feel like he's got that ideology that Renato Sanches is still that beast that he was at Benfica. And I really hope I'm gonna get proved wrong here, but I highly suspect he is gonna be the same player. I may be wrong. I was wrong with Matic. Look, if this is true, bring it on. Another thing which I want to say, however, is this is kind of a reflection, and I'm gonna end the Renato Sanches parenthesis in a bit, and then we'll focus on strikers because that has to be the priority. But I'm just gonna say one thing. We have good relationships with PSG, right? And we have clearly understood from last season that and therefore we don't need to pay him because this is a loan without an obligation. So we don't have to pay him permanently. It's a Genie 2.0. If we get Renato Sanches on loan, I'm just going to launch this out. It's a reflection. It's a thought. Why not continue this good pattern that we have with PSG and also bring back Genie Wijnaldum? Because on loan, obviously. Because at the end of the day, if squad depth is the thing we have to improve, and we get Renato Sanches, Genie Wijnaldum, adding on to Pellegrini, Bove, Cristante, Matic, Aouar, that's a good rotational midfield. I'm acting critical and controversial here because 1 month ago, I did not want Genie to come back. And I don't want Genie to come back. But this is just a squad depth reflection. If we have to improve squad depth, and we would rather spend money on a striker rather than spend money on a box-to-box mid, why not get both Renato Sanches and Genie back? That's kind of my reflection. Because from what I'm understanding, we want to spend the majority of our money on the strikers, which, frankly speaking, I fully agree with the ownership. We have to spend money on a striker because the market allows us and kind of forces us to pay money on a striker. So if we want to conserve that budget on the striker, but at the same time we need to improve the midfielder squad depth and rotations, get Renato Sanches and get Genie back as well. Worst case scenario, we've got one more player. Again, I'm not craving a Genie comeback. In fact, I think Renato Sanches is better than Genie, and Renato Sanches has been killed by injuries. But if we really have to, if we want to spend the money on a striker / 2 strikers, because we need 2 strikers, then let's just get Genie back. I don't know. That's just their thoughts. Do you agree? Would you consider that thought? My question is, yes or no in the chat. Would you bring Genie back if PSG contributes to wages, if he cuts his wages, and if now that he's criticised by the fans after that Europa League final performance, he's willing to kind of prove them wrong and come back? Yes or no? Would you do that? Let me know in the chat. And then the last thing which I will say, which is the only thing which I don't understand about this Renato Sanches thing, is why the hell are we prioritising a midfielder? Why the hell are we prioritising a midfielder? Why the hell is Thiago Pinto, if these rumours are true, why the hell is Thiago Pinto recruiting a midfielder when we still have no striker? When on Saturday we're leaving for Portugal and we don't have a main striker? Why are we getting Renato Sanches now? Shouldn't we prioritising a striker? And if you link all of these things together, my instinct is, if this Renato Sanches thing is true, and we are going to get him on loan, and PSG are going to contribute to his wages, if this is true, my initial instinct is this. Well, we got basically a midfielder which we don't need to pay for. Maybe we're saving up the money to try and unlock the Morata deal and or the Scamacca deal. That's the only instinct which I find. I cannot find another reason of why we are prioritizing another midfielder instead of strikers. My only reason is that we've found the perfect opportunity to kick in for Renato Sanches following the fact that they've opened up for a loan and that they're willing to contribute to wages. And that's a good opportunity to exploit, so get the midfielder done. Otherwise, I struggle to believe why we are yet recruiting another midfielder right now when in 3 days we're leaving for Portugal and we've got Belotti as a main striker. Which leads me on to talk about Morata and Scamacca. Who will it be? Will it be none of them? Will it be both of them? Will it be one of them? Basically, some rumors, because again, you see what's irritating about the transfer window. When you go on Twitter and you search up Roma transfer window, you've got so many people who say so many different things, and you tend to believe every one of them. And at the end of the day, you really get a mixed opinion, and it doesn't help. Some Twitter sources are saying that West Ham are trying to accelerate to sign Armando Broja from Chelsea, and if they do that, maybe they will open up for a loan when it comes to Scamacca, who is pushing to sign for us. On the other hand, other people are saying that at the time of speaking, we need an answer on Morata. And I'm expecting an answer on Morata. 48 hours ago, we had that meeting with his agents. 48 hours ago, Thiago Pinto contacted his agents and decided to take a 24/48 break to discuss with the Fredkins if we wanted to take this financial sacrifice and sign Morata, who said he's open to join us. 24 hours gone, 48 hours is gone, we still have no answer. Are we working behind the scenes to unlock this deal? Maybe, but we don't have a confirmation when it comes to that. So again, 48 hours have gone. Anytime soon, I'm expecting an answer from the Fredkins. Is it a yes? Do we acknowledge the fact that we will need to take a financial sacrifice to recruit a striker, and that Morata is what the manager wants and is probably the best option we're going to get, and therefore we get him? Or is it a no, and we just move on to the next one, which in this case should be Scamacca, and if it's not Scamacca, God knows who it is. I'm very worried if it's none of the two. So yeah, I mean, the update on Scamacca is that some people are saying that with this Broja deal, West Ham could unlock the Scamacca loan move and give him on loan. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I feel like I have to say my take on this. I would love any of the two. For various different reasons. I think both of them are valid strikers, seen our position, seen where we're currently at, seen, that we're not playing in the Champions League. I think both are valid options. I think regardless of whether we sign, if it's going to be one of them two, we still need another striker. And I think getting Morata or Scamacca both brings different benefits and different disadvantages. Starting with I've always been a fan of Morata, and I will say this. I've always been a fan the way he plays. I've always been a fan, and this is why I'd love any of the two strikers. Obviously, I would love Scamacca because he's pushing for us, he wants this move, he knows the atmosphere and the environment, being a Roma fan, and he would come back home. The different advantages and benefits and disadvantages of these two deals is, if we sign Scamacca, we've got a future potential signing, an Italian prospect, and all of that, which is going to be great. If we sign Morata, we get a player who's got more experience. We obviously are going towards the requests of our manager, because Mourinho would prefer Morata, as we said many times. And I feel like we would get a player who we already know who we're going to get. Let me explain this better. If we sign Morata, we already know the player we're going to get. If we sign Scamacca, it's a gamble, because it could be an insane signing, but it also could be a terrible signing. What I'm going to say is this. If we sign Scamacca, the need to get a second striker is more important than if we get Morata, because of what I just said. Because buying Morata means that we are getting a player who is a very experienced player, and we know the player we're going to get. We know his characteristics very well, because he's past his prime, so we know how he plays. Getting Scamacca, who still needs to reach his prime, is a different discussion, because it could go either way, because we don't specifically know how he will adapt to this system. So if we get Scamacca, the need to get a second striker is more than if we get Morata. Because if we get Scamacca, we have to back it in case it goes massively wrong. So we need to get a second striker more than if we get Morata. Even if we get Morata, we need a second striker, 100%. But that's just my take on this. By the way, there's quite a lot of you in, so if you can smash the like button, takes 2 seconds, it supports this community a lot. So yeah, if everybody can smash the like button, I would massively support it and appreciate it. So please do it. So please do it if you haven't already. People are saying Mane in the chat. Yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying when you should stop believing in those rumors. Because we are targets for the media. We are targets. They want to hit us over here. They want to fool us. So journalists who dared link a player like Sadio Mane to a team like Roma, and people who believe in those rumors, get them away. Get them away. How can we possibly sign a player who earns 20 million per year if we have difficulties in signing a player who earns 5 million per year? Lads, let's be serious here. How can we ever believe in those Mane rumors? It makes no sense. Mane earns 20 million each year. We are having difficulties in signing players on loan. So please forget about Mane. And I'm not saying because I don't want you to believe in those rumors. Believing in dreams is great. Believe in your dreams, kids. But dreams have limits. Well, maybe not. But dreams regarding the transfer window have to be realistic. And I'm saying this for your own mental health. Because Mane is not going to happen. And if you believe in the Mane rumors and Mane doesn't happen, you're going to get pissed. You're going to get pissed because you've been fooled by the media. So stop believing in those Mane rumors. Mane is not going to happen, nowhere close in happening, nowhere close financially in happening. I would love, again, once again, yet again, to be proved wrong here. I would love it. But unfortunately, I will not get proved wrong because it's not going to happen. Did you see the Sadio Mane rumor links for a loan to Roma? Not happening. Exactly, Simon. It's a great opportunity to get Sanchez on loan for almost free, so we can focus the money on Scamacca. It's great planning, in my opinion. Right, let's read some comments. By the way, if you've got any questions in that, pop them in the chat. It's sad we've dropped their pursuit of Kamara. I would rather him infinitely over Renato Sanches. I agree, I'd rather him too, but I think it's two different characteristics. I would rather Kamara as well, but maybe it means we're searching for a more box-to-box defensive midfielder. I don't know. I don't work in Trigoria. I don't know what the plans are. But if that's the case, then, you know, that's probably why. Scamacca or Morata? I would fancy both. Any of the two. I would love both of them, but I would fancy any of the two. I think both of them bring different benefits and different disadvantages to the team, as we discussed today. Go for Dominguez instead. I agree. Dominguez is a bowler. I would love Dominguez. I would love it. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. I will have to wait till the end of the season before making a judgment, says Amidu. Yes, always like that. Yeah. If Dominguez is on the table, I wouldn't get Gini. I agree. I don't want Gini back. Mine was just a reflection. You know, if we want to spend more money on a striker than a midfielder, but at the same time we want to improve our midfielders and we want to improve the squad depth of our midfield, maybe a valid option would be getting Gini back, adding into Renato Sanches. I don't know. That's just my reflection. It's not a rumor. I've just came up with it. But yeah, look, we need answers. The reality is this: we need answers on the striker front because. To be fair, I don't care about midfielders right now. We need to sort out the striker crisis. We need to sort that out. I need answers on Morata. We need answers on Scamacca. So we will see if we get any updates in these next hours. Hopefully we will. What are our friendlies coming ahead? The next friendly will be the last one before we leave for Portugal, behind closed doors in our training ground. Against Latina, another Serie C team. And then we're flying to Portugal to play better quality sides. We're flying for Portugal the 22nd, which is this Saturday. I'm leaving tomorrow for a few days, but I'm going to film. I'm going to Pisa and the Cinque Terre for a little holiday. So I'm going to film some content there with great sceneries and great, what do you want to call it? Nature, paradisitic landscapes. So if you aren't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. As I've said many times over the course of this stream, if you smash the like button, it costs €0 and it supports this community, which everybody is made up of. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification button, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Simo out.